women around us. All these women deserve love, care, respect and happiness. The world becomes better place when women does not feel hardship to exist. Respect each woman not for their gender but for their individual identity. And every woman is extraordinary no matter where she works, whether it's a home or office. Let's learn to appreciate women in us. Happy Women's Day.
When you talk about a woman, there's a positive vibes. Yes, there's a positive vibes. So I would like to define the meaning of a woman. Women. So let me elaborate the meaning of a woman. W, wonderful. O, outstanding. M, motherly. A, adorable, and nourishing. So these 5 qualities only a woman can have. So hence we are called as a woman. So I would like to wish all the beautiful ladies a happy Women's Day.
So hi everyone, this is Shobha Jonathan, Dr. Shobha Jonathan from St. Francis College. I'm an assistant professor, Department of Commerce. Here I am to speak few words on Women's Day about women. According to me, women is strength, women is a gift of God, women is powerful, women is wow. I can say about myself, I am a woman of strength, woman by example, and I think that all the gifts that I have is to spread and empower others. Women's power, and women have to empower others also. On this International Women's Day, I wish everyone happy Women's Day, happy, successful, and a long life to every woman. All the best. Live happy. Be confident.
I cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water and create many ripples. On this note, on behalf of NYS, I would like to wish all the women out there a happy Women's Day. Let's create the change, be happy, be independent, and fulfill all our desires and dreams coming forward. I myself, Mary Workers, Rumi, thank you.
Hey everyone, happy Women's Day.
Wishing all the fierce and amazing and beautiful women out there, including myself, a very, very happy Women's Day.
Hi everyone, this is Gitanjali from Canada. Wishing all you gorgeous women out there a very happy Women's Day.
On behalf of NYS, we wish you a happy Women's Day.
There were beautiful messages from everyone across the globe on Women's Day. And from my behalf, I'd like to wish every single person aware a very happy Women's Day. Now, to formally welcome everyone, each and everyone once again, I'd like to first welcome our management. That is Vasundhara ma'am, our director, Shalini ma'am, the founder, Raghunathan sir, our corporate advisor, Royan sir, our academic director, and Vikram Rajan sir, our mentoring and assessment expert. I'd also like to extend our welcome to our team, Sanjay, our graphic designer, Madhu M, event coordinator, Jomon Thomas, business development officer, and Sandeep K, our technical head, and of course, me. Hi. And last but not least, I'd like to welcome our esteemed inspirators for today, Dr. Ashwini ma'am, Dr. Sunita ma'am, Dr. Chandrika ma'am, and Dr. Shalini Prakash ma'am. International Women's Day is annually celebrated on the 8th of March, the day amidst the highlight to highlight the achievements made by women across the globe. The day also ensures to create awareness among women for them to take a stand and fight against gender discrimination in society. This International Women's Day, women across the globe will celebrate and bring rejoice in the social, cultural, economic, and political achievements made by them. To mark the occasion, several rallies, discussions, and public programs are organized, where women from different parts of the country take part. To begin with, I'd like to invite our first inspirator of the day, Dr. Sunita Patil ma'am. Sunita Patil ma'am is a professor of pathology at JNMC and a director at UDEHP. Ma'am is also a former member of the Reconciliation Board of Medical Council of India. Ma'am, before we start, we would like to know you a little more. So,
hello.
Hello, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, ma'am, as we can see, your profile is very impressive, but yet we would still like to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
So we'll just be taking 30 seconds of your time. Is that okay?
Fine.
So, ma'am, I will be asking you a few rapid fire questions and you have to answer them as quickly as you can. So, your time starts now. What would be the quote you always live by?
Live and let live.
Beautiful, ma'am. Describe Fabulous Mother in 3 words.
Compassionate, caring, and responsible.
If you could eat one thing forever, what would it be?
I didn't get that. You could?
If you could eat one thing forever, what would it be?
You could eat forever. I'm not particular anything. Anything is okay.
Well, that was a wonderful rapid fire round, ma'am. And now we invite you to take the stage, ma'am.
Shall I share my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. Is my screen audible, Cheryl?
Yes.
Is my screen seen? It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think we are coming to the end of pandemic. Still, I think we are left with those 3 questions. Is my screen visible? Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay. Thank you so much. So at the outset, I would like to carry a warm greetings for all the women out there on an International Women's Day. Wishing a very happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. And I would like to thank New You Solutions, all the board of management, and especially Dr. Shalini for having given me this opportunity to be with you all and share a little of my experiences and my thoughts with you all. So thank you very much, Cheryl, and thank you very much for the introduction. Today, I chose a topic, invisible women. Actually, when I thought of, when Dr. Shalini asked me, I was thinking, yeah, invisible. Why invisible? Do you all agree that women are invisible there? In many ways? Yeah? Okay, let me share my experience that. When I was married, when you're newly married, especially you are in a, we are all in a, especially when it was 20, 25 years back, we are all we want to impress, the in-laws, the families, and everywhere around the society, to be ideal and to be a role model and to be, very stereotypical type. So when I realized, when I was working at home as well as in the hospital, and I was working both the sides, but then my work was not recognized by anybody over there. I never got an appreciation. Rather, it was my husband who got more appreciation for half the amount of work he was doing. He was getting double the appreciation that I would get. And that is when I felt invisible. And as the days passed, it continued. And those days, we didn't know that we could raise a voice because there was no social media, nothing. And then I was just suppressed. And I wasn't even, I was invisible in handling my finances because my finances were handled by someone else. And so I felt invisible there. And then as the days progressed and I was blessed with a baby girl, a child, and then things happened. And when she started achieving, it was all, I was putting efforts as a mother and all the continuous efforts in bringing up a child. And then again, there I was invisible as a mother because the child's name, bears her name, the father's name, and a surname. I was nowhere there. I felt invisible. These small invisible things were happening, but then what hit me the most, the blow was when my daughter was in 10th standard, she won an award from state award for some elocution competition, and the school published it in a newspaper. In big line, it was her name, father's name, and this. And I have been raising her since she was 10 years. I was raising her alone as a single mother, and all my efforts, without any efforts, all the credit, and it was only somebody who was not doing anything was visible. Again, that was a big blow. I felt that I'm nowhere. I was invisible. And then I thought, I started thinking why this is all happening. There's so many factors that has been happening. Why this is happening? One of the important things is that our society has done a lot of injustice to women in 80s, 90s born, and our generation, that we were given examples of suffering Sita, and suffering Sita was a role model. We always felt that women means we have to suffer. This is common. This is accepted. You have to do this. You have no voice. You should not raise a voice. And from there itself, we were being suppressed, and then we were made to feel invisible. We were made to accept that invisibility. Yes, this is normal, and that's what was happening. And even today we are, we are almost crossing the quarter of a 21st century, not just 21st century, quarter of a 21st century. Even today, if I can ask you all, are we devoid of gender bias today? In a modern day, we talk of so many things and so many equality. We talk of equality. Are we actually? I don't think so. I'm sure you will all echo my words, echo my feelings, resonate my feelings. I'm sure many of women out there will feel that the same thing. Be it a domestic work. If you ask a woman who's a homemaker, if you ask her, what do you do? She says, no, nothing. I don't do anything. I'm at home. I just stay at home. But actually, she's doing such a productive work, one full-time job, maintaining a home. And then they are made to feel that this is okay. This is nothing. Only if you go out and earn, you are earning something or you are doing something. Otherwise, you are nothing. And that is not counted. Those women have been invisible in terms of the productive work. And labor, if you take labor there, I'm sure we all agree that including Bollywood, all the labor there, women are paid less. We talk of big things. We still talk of equality. This is in 2022, in this era, we are talking again, the women starting from the labor work at the fields to the Bollywood and to anyone, there's no equality in even a payment. So they are invisible. In a corporate work, many a times women do a lot of work, but then, it's always projected. Not always, most of the time it's projected that it's men who are doing. Probably they are able to do a little more work, probably because of the women, they have a hindrance in their family and other things. Take politics. How many women we see in the politics in positions in politics? How many women we see? Barely anybody. If you take in a parliament, barely about 11% of the women are there. 11%. Forget about, even though there is a 30% reservation, it's about only 11 to 18% women there in the parliament, there also. And we talk of leadership roles, people are probably not many women we see in leadership roles. I would not like to take any, can take some examples, but then if you see in any area, take it in entrepreneurship, sports, or anywhere, Bollywood, leadership roles are very, very few, barely anybody. Why this could be happening is probably because there are reasons. Maybe one reason is women feel that no, I am not able to do it. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe we have been brought up in a way that, okay, this is not for women. Women have to be, confined to home and smaller roles, little bit, okay, you can do something for yourself, not the leadership roles. So there we have been suppressed. And then women hesitate to take leadership roles, maybe because they feel they may not do justice with the family. Will I be able to spare so much time for the family? Will I be able to balance, or will I be able to do justice? Because all the time in the back of the mind, it's about the family. It's about the family, the husband, the children, the responsibilities that, they're going on. So whether it is entrepreneurship or sports, very few women have, they come up, and in fact, they come up because very few parents have realized the potential and the importance, and they encourage. There is a lot of talent, but then they are not coming up. And if you take the example of women cricket team, they are yet to get their dues in spite of being equal or in par with, men's cricket team across the globe. It's not just in India, across the globe, they're yet to get their recognition. So you take Bollywood. Women are paid less, and for the same amount of work, same amount of roles, same amount of efforts, they're paid. And defense, it's only recently that Avani, Bhavana, and Mohana were included, and they were the first few women who won the fighter planes. So though things are changing, a lot needs to change. All these women have been in visible life. Now, how to enhance this visibility? How can we? First thing is financial independence. Women have to be financially independent at any cost. However, your husband is rich, whatever property you have, whatever money you have, until and unless you earn on your own, that confidence, you don't get that confidence. So we all have to have that financial independence. That is the first thing for women to be empowered. We talk of women empowerment, and it's just not, I'm talking of that doing a job. How many women we see when we're working, we're doing a job, you ask her, if ask her mates, they are more empowered, I feel, but some of them, if you ask them, they feel that whatever salary they get, they're going and giving it to their husbands. And it's just not with them. It happens in a high educated society. I shared my experience. So it's in a high educated, in an educational level also, it happens that, just doing a job and earning is not empowerment. It has to be, empowerment has to be in our minds, in our thoughts. We should feel empowered. And for that, we need to have a financial independence. Handle your finances on your own. And I'm sure women are better financial handlers than men. With due respect to all men over there. And we have to be aware of our potential. Cannot underestimate ourselves. Most of the time, we women underestimate ourselves. So be aware of a potential. You can do anything, and just go ahead and do whenever it is possible, whatever opportunity, just grab it and do it. Realize our worth. We have to realize our worth. As I said, women, most of the time, even in domestic work, housemakers, so much they are doing, uncomparable work they are doing. But then I don't do anything, I'm at home. They don't realize their own worth. So we have to realize our worth. Until and unless I value myself, I respect myself, I love myself, I can't expect anybody else, the opposite person or the world, to respect me. So have love and respect for ourselves. And wear confidence. Confidence, is the best attire for women. And when we wear that confidence, nothing can stop us. Nobody can affect us. Nothing can, there's no barrier to anything, doing anything. So that's very important. And support other women. This is very important. I wanted to highlight on this. Support other women. We see how many women we see actually supporting. You take from home, from domestic level to the higher level, in the corporate level or any level, if you see that women are bullied, women are being pulled down. And that needs to be stopped. Maybe at home, when we say, we have seen women, we have seen our, mother-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, treating equal there, support. Don't look at my mother-in-law, my father, my sister-in-law, my whatever it is. Just look at another woman, another individual and support that. And be it a workplace also, we need to support. Only then collectively we can go ahead and we can fight for equality. Raise voice for equality. Whenever you feel that we are not giving equal opportunities or anything, so please have the guts to raise the voice for equality. Only then, as they say, the old saying goes, the mother feeds the child only when the child asks for, demands for it, asks for it. So that way, so we have to raise for equality. Be your own fuel for a fire within. What happens is nobody is going to tell us, okay, you go there, this is an opportunity, you go there and do this. This is an opportunity, oh, come, take this, you are going to do this, you do this. Nobody will give us. It's a competitive world, and it is whatever we want. If not in a competition also, whatever you have to do it, it is for us, we have to do it. We have to be our own fuel for a fire within. Only then we can, shoot up. Another important aspect what we are going to talk is always, for women, biological clock versus a career clock. We have heard many people talking, biological clock and career clock are in total conflict with each other for women. Women just join, they finish their education, and then they just get married, and then they join an organization, or they are working or doing something, maybe entrepreneurship, whatever. They're reaching some point, and then they'll have to start their family, the pregnancy, delivery, and all that. Then they'll have to take a break. There may be some break in the career there also. And then, to getting back with all the children and family and all these issues will be very difficult for them. At many a times we have seen that, I experienced that, every day in a day-to-day life, many a times in daily, many a times I have to think at different moments. Now, should I be a mother? Should I act as a mother, or should I give importance as my career, as my as what I'm doing, as my post, whatever my responsibility? Should I do that? Should I be a director there? Should I be a professor there, or should I be this every day? So we need to balance. We need to develop coping mechanisms for that. Take help from anybody. So, but then we have to have coping mechanisms. We need to develop. But I'm not saying that we should not go for children, have families, beautiful. Please have, I shout out to all the women out there, young women out there. So it's beautiful to have children, have them. And, you can balance, learn to balance. And how we can balance, how we can just see ahead, learn to balance. It's definitely a wonderful thing. But when you hit back, and I have seen many women, after having children, they stop working, they stop their career, they just put a full stop to career, thinking that, okay, I have to look after my children is important, my children's career is important for their education. I have seen so many women saying that for their education, I left my career. And, when the children grow up and they're left with nothing at that moment, they feel, they end up with that emptiness syndrome or whatever, and that's not, and that also adds on to pressure on children. Oh, my mother left her career for me. I have to perform now. I have to do this. So hit back, take a break, enjoy, relax with your children. And then when it is time to come back and join, just hit back in your own position, in your own way. Never be afraid to take a leadership roles. Most of the time it happens. I can also share my experience that in 2014, when we were recognized as one of the MCI nodal centers, I was working already as a co-convener. And when it was upgraded, I was asked to become a convener of a nodal center where around 62 medical colleges are under this college. And that time I was hesitant. Just about 8 years back, I think 7-8 years back, I was hesitant. I told my principal, I said, no, sir, I can't do this. I can't take up such a big responsibility. And then that time he said, and I told him, I had suggested another senior person's name, a male. And I said, let him be there in the post, but I'll do all the work. If he's busy, I'll do all the work. Let him be there just for the name check and for signature. And then that time my principal, who was a male again, he said, you are saying you are ready to do every work. You are doing. then why don't you take up? It is your, you deserve that. You deserve to be there, you take up. And I took up and I succeeded in that. I think I did fairly well in that responsibility I did, that I have a satisfaction. So, it happens, we have a hesitant. Please take up, never be afraid to take up. And this is a small trivia from one of the references somewhere. I found this in HR organization study. With a due respect to all the men out there, this was a trivia shared. Men tend to overestimate their potential. Women tend to underplay their abilities. And that's why women are often promoted by their past performance, while men by their perceived potential. That says it all. Can we break these barriers? I mean, this was, I think, a few days ago and few months ago, I think this was widely circulated in all the, I think probably last Women's Day, it was circulated probably, and, on WhatsApp and everywhere. It is so true. Women have so many barriers where men have, hardly there are any, for them, the path is very clear. Women, I still feel very proud of all the women who are doing wonderful there, because in spite of all these barriers, we are able to compete with men. But it is not possible. Very few women like us are fortunate enough to be here at this, to be able to do something. But then not everybody is fortunate enough with that support and for that education. And so we need to break these barriers. Often we complain that, there are not many women on the high post. Like, as I said, in my initial thing, I said that, not many women are in a high post, whether politics or corporate world, anywhere. That's, what happens is probably because of this, obstacles in a family, what we are seeing, because of this, not many women stay there in the position to go up, to go on to the top. So that might be the problem. That barriers we need to break, and we need a lot of support from the family as well. The more important is we need to make up our mind. Once we make up our mind, I can cross these barriers, then we find the support, then we find the ways, then we find many other things. Then can we break this bias? Okay, these pictures, I'll just tell you what happened is when I was preparing for this talk, I was searching for images, and I saw working women image. And when I got this working women image, I got then, other than, corporate look, women with blazers and, well-dressed women with computers, with files in hand and everything were there. Along with that, I found these pictures where women on one side, she's handling, balancing family as well as that. And we can see a woman working with this with a child. And many pictures I found. You can also Google and see now. You can also Google, I'm not lying. This is the truth, what I have found. I'm sharing my experience. And then out of curiosity, I just typed men at work images. All I found was well-dressed men. There was no single male picture with any of the other domestic work, handling a family, with a family. When it comes to working men, they're all single, completely free. This is the bias we have to break. This is what we are creating. This is there in our mind. This plays a huge psychological game in our minds. That when we see this picture, this is common. This is how it has to be, and we accept. We tend to accept this, that women has to do. So how can we break the barriers? So this year's theme for International Women's Day is breaking the bias today for a sustainable tomorrow. So how can we break the bias today for sustaining the better tomorrow? Is celebrate the birth of a girl child as that of a male child. How can we do that? In a small way, these are few examples I'm sharing here. There are many ways. How can we celebrate? In our tradition in India and in especially this part of the country, when a male child is born, we distribute sweets, that is peda, which is supposed to be little expensive than that is distributed for a girl child. When the girl child is born, that is jalebis. Why not distribute a peda for a girl child also? Why less? That's the moment the child is born, we are differentiating. And we talk of equality. No, we are giving equal education to our girls, and we are doing everything equal. Treat a girl child equal to a boy at home. It all depends on our mothers, we mothers. At least if our generation bring up the boys or men in this way, at least tomorrow we will have the empowered men who can understand the equality, gender equality. And we say again, when guests come or anything is there, we call a girl child for help at home. Whenever it's a kitchen work, cleaning work, anything domestic, we call a girl child at home. We don't allow, I mean, not many, of course, things are changing now. We still see that bias that, boy is for outside work, girl is for home work. It's still there. But at the same time, the same parents talk that, no, we treat our children very equal. We give that equality. We give equal, of course, education has become as an important part. Now education is being imparted equally to all. Empower boys to treat girls with equal respect. That should start from home, not by telling, by example, by being example. Treat both girls and boys at home, daughter and a son equally. Only then they see. We all know that children learn by observing us, by following us, not by our words. So start it at home. Treat them with equal respect. Another important thing is I have heard it quite a lot of times. My husband helps a lot. My brother helps a lot in her work. Somebody, they help a lot. My son also helps a lot. Don't ask men for help in domestic work. Make them, it's their own responsibility. Why should they help? Once the term that help comes, it means that it is my work where they're helping me. And male also feels that, any male feels that, okay, it's your work, I'm helping you, doing a favor. No, helping is not a favor. It is the fault is with us. We make them feel that they're helping us. No. So don't ask them, own the responsibility. They have the equal responsibility of home, running a home. So they let them share the responsibility. And I think we need to have more of movies and ads. They also have done a lot of gender bias to and a lot of psychological game with the women in the past. Okay, now a few of the movies are coming, but still I can say 2 ads that have come. I can share just the examples of that. I'm sure you must have seen Ariel ad. That's something that is very nice for the gender parity. And probably even a Biba ad. I'm not endorsing any of the brands or anything here. I just have gone through, whatever I felt, I'm just sharing. Biba ad, he says, a father says when their son, a boy comes to see a girl, he says, whether he can cook. Now, that is one step ahead. And then Ariel ad shows that, there is at least he feels, they're made to feel that, okay, it's my responsibility also. That's one. So male is made to feel. And very recently, in the last 1 week for this International Women's Day, the Praga News is sharing the ad. I'm sure many of you must have seen, where a pregnant a lady with a child whose name in that ad is Seema Rastogi, who is an IPS officer with a child, who endorses saying that, having a child, I can handle both the responsibilities equally. I can handle both. My career responsibility as a district head of the law and order, as well as a child, I can handle. And then there's a clap, and then there's a tagline that women celebrate women for powerful. I think these ads make us feel, they make us feel proud to take that extra load of work. This is what this entertaining industry and the society has played with us. Why is it that, why don't somebody make an ad that shows, the husband is taking care and the wife is working? Sometime at least, reversal of roles. I think I can see only one movie that I think not very much was appreciated. I think it was Key and Ka movie that was not much appreciated. It was not well received by, I think I asked many of my friends and colleagues there, they didn't even watch the movie because they didn't accept that concept. So, all this is, I'm just saying, sharing with due respect to men who are there out there. So we need to make so many of those. So make some ads where male is taking care of the family and women is what's wrong. Sometimes, reversal of roles and it can be done. So these are a few examples how we can start, break the bias today for sustainable tomorrow, so that we can have a beautiful tomorrow. I'm sure, I'm very hopeful and very optimistic that very soon the things are changing very fast. Very soon we'll see equality where caregiver and breadwinner are treated with equal respect in the society. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm end my talk with my gratitude and a tribute to all the wonderful women out there doing whatever work they are doing, and for being women, because I know being women is a tough job. It's not easy. Just being women, whether working, domestic or whatever, being women is a tough job. So a huge shout out to all the women out there and tribute to all of them. And once again, wishing a very happy Women's Day to all the women out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sunita ma'am, for bringing out a different perspective on becoming more visible. To be honest, I would have never ever thought of it that way. Not just did you open mine, but everyone else's eyes on how we can bring about this change, but also giving due credit to the possible reasons behind this. A few words that you had said will stick with me forever. Be your own fuel for the fire within. That is something I will make as my wallpaper and live by it. Because that is so true. If we don't see ourselves the way we want to be treated, how can we expect anyone else to treat us that way? That is so very true. And thank you so much for bringing forward that point. And last but not least, I love the way you said the caregiver and breadwinner should be treated as equal. That just, as simple as it was, it rings a huge bell. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for those wonderful and inspiring words. We are so
Thank you
grateful
once
to have you
again.
here today, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much once again, New You Solutions entire team as well as, and thank you, Cheryl, for hosting it beautifully.
Without further ado, I'd like to invite Dr. Ashwini ma'am, currently Assistant Professor, Department of Public Health at GNMC, NSS Program Coordinator, KLE Academy of Higher Education and Research, awarded State Best NSS Program Officer for the year, Senior Research Assistant in ICMR funded Superb Project for Women, and over 32 publications. We are so glad to have you with us, ma'am.
Thank you, Shelley.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So your profile is wonderful and very, very, very inspiring as well. But before we begin, I'd like to get to know you a little more, just as our audience would too. So can I have just 30 seconds of your time for a small little rapid fire round, just to know you a little more?
Okay, ready?
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, your time starts now. What is your go-to motto?
What is the
Go-to motto.
go-to motto is mine: be active, always be involved in making people happy, and be yourself most happily. That is my motto.
That is so wonderful, ma'am. What is your favorite accessory?
My favorite accessory is to be with my daughter, playing with her.
That is so beautiful, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am, the platform is yours.
I'll be sharing my set. I wish all the women who have joined online, offline, happy International Women's Day, as it should not be celebrated only on the 8th March, as we should celebrate all 365 days as a Women's Day, and we should enjoy our day. And I thank Shalini Prakash ma'am and Shirley and the whole team to give me this opportunity. The role today, I would like to express the role of women in Swachh Bharat. This is most important at present. Being a medical profession, I take this opportunity to say that Swachh Bharat, cleanliness, is important in our life. So these are some activities where we could do it. And cleanliness, as I said, Swachh Bharat doesn't mean only the cleanliness, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, what the government has taken an initiative. It is the cleanliness which has started since ancestors, which we are following day to day in our life. So cleanliness is nothing but it's a state of surrounding. We create ourselves from being free from dirt. Free from dirt doesn't mean the dust that is there around us. It is the dust which is there within the mind of the people also. That also leads to cleanliness, which is very much required for women to be happy in day-to-day life. One must understand that cleanliness is not someone else's responsibility, but rather it's a responsibility of everyone's own to keep clean and also keep the environment clean. This cleanliness can be categorized into different categories, but I have put it in health and wellness, where we say to be healthy, one should be clean. As we always teach our students, our surroundings, like personal hygiene, which is also an important cleanliness, where women play an important role in this cleanliness to be healthy. Cleanliness for safety. Safety doesn't mean that we should protect ourselves from the defense and all. It also deals with where we are working, the work environment, the fire. If imagine in an industry, fire is also an example where cleanliness plays an important role, where the fire cannot take place. So there also in the workplace, we have to think of cleanliness as a woman. Cleanliness for buildings. See, as a woman, when we go to buy any house or enter into a hotel, we always look after the cleanliness, whether it is clean or no, whether we should take this room, whether we should buy this house. So building cleanliness is also important. We have to focus on that. So it is again, we take a responsibility. See, men usually go and have a look, okay, fancy house, come, yeah, we can buy it. But as a female, it's our responsibility to look after our surroundings, because where I am going to live is an important matter us when we select any building. So cleanliness of building is also taken into consideration. Cleanliness for tourism. When I go for a best example, nearby our state is Goa beach. Imagine if we want to go to the Goa beaches and see full of plastic dirt, how we will feel it. So cleanliness plays very important role when we are select any tourist place. If we say, oh yeah, it's a clean place, we enjoy that inner built, the mind automatically we feel that happiness. So cleanliness is very important for us. Poor sanitation is linked to the transmission of, as I am from medical background, I would like to focus more on sanitation, where we say that poor sanitation leads to development of certain diseases, cholera, diarrhea, so many, including reproductive tract infections, typhoid, polio, where we are proudly say that we have eradicated polio, still we are having these problems in many of our areas other than India. So safe drinking water, sanitation and hygiene are crucial to human health and well-being. As we have seen that WASH, W-A-S-H, is been a word that has been taken from the World Health Organization, where they say water and sanitation and hygiene plays very important role in the whole body, whole life, human life, what we say is. Coming to at recent pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, where our ancestors, we remember our old ancestors of cleanliness. In those days, whenever a person is to enter any house, they were supposed to wash their hands and feet and then enter into the house to build a positiveness in the house. If all the dirt comes inside the house, it is a negative, where again the women plays an important role here. Cleanliness again relates to women. We are the people who can bring the change that I want to bring here. As one of our madam, Sunita madam told, invisible women is very important even in the cleanliness. I'll explain how it is. Gender is an important notion in sanitation and hygiene, because women often are being taken into consideration that cleanliness means only women. No man is being taken into consideration. I agree with this, but it is, I'll tell how women can play a role in bringing this gender bias change in their life. So gender is very important. One of the best sustainable development goals that has been put out of 18 targets in India, one of the best targets that has been put is to building equitable sanitation and hygiene for all, more focusing on women and girl child. Because we are the people who have suffered from all these problems. I'll explain how it is. Men and women are undoubtedly held a different expectations of cleanliness, standard of cleanliness. There was a study where they have put saying that if a man wants to clean his area, messy area, he will take only 30 minutes to clean. But if a woman wants to clean the same messy area, she takes 1.5 hours. Why this 1.5 hours? No one has thought it, because men are having only just to look clean, but women are thinking from the bottom of the heart that how the feelings of others also are taken into consideration. Women have a lot of empathy as compared to men. Hence, cleanliness plays very important role when a female enters into the cleaning any of this and takes 1.5 hours. That is what here. And most of the studies also have been told that 70% of women take the responsibility of cleaning as compared to only 30% of the men who are taking this responsibility. Here I want break the bias of cleanliness where we want opposite, where 70% of the men can also take this responsibility as compared to 30% men. There are certain myths. As we know, India has lot of men taking decisions. So the myth is that physiologically females are being brought up to do household work, as Sunita ma'am told. Physiologically, we are being told, okay, girl child, maximum 70% has to be done household work. What is this household work has to be taught to everyone. And also men walk. This is what the female feels. Most of our rural female, this is my experience in the rural activities when we enter into the community. The females say that, okay, hamare, what they say is, nam mani aur bartare, nam mani aur manegade bandaga, nam mani clean agirbeku anta. What is this? They say they are having they want to fulfill the expectations of the men, their husband, their father-in-law, which is not true. We have to think our own health and then think of the others. This is what most of the people have the myth that the female has to keep the house clean. That is what is there. So again, my question is, why only females? I agree with this because females are the people who are having lot of problems related to the health, where hygiene plays an important role here. So that is what disproportionate burden is faced by the women, especially shortage of or non-availability of sanitation facilities that can also be called as gender-based insecurity. We have gender-based insecurity. This is related to the open defecation, where I would like to stress here, because this is my experience in the community. I would like to give an example here in one of the village where we wanted to do open defecation village, and it was already been declared. But when we did the survey said that there were so many hundreds of houses where they did not had any toilet. So we approached the panchayat. The panchayat, one of the female member was a panchayat vice president, where she agreed and she supported. But the remaining men in the panchayat's elected members, sorry to say this is my experience, where they did not agree for construction of community toilets where the women can be secured. Here, when the panchayat female took, now what has happened, the little bit shift is happened after 2 years. The female panchayat who was a vice president, now she has become a president, and she, as a leader, she has made the women of that village understand the importance of toilets, and she has come with a new innovative, where I proudly say that we have contributed a part as a women in bringing awareness. So that is why females play an important role in bringing the change in the society. Second, women are also being faced, they have been threatened, abused, not only by the human beings, but also by many animals during the late night when they go for open defecation. This is where I want to bring more stress. That is where Swachhata plays important role for us. There is a study where this study was being done in Kenya that suggested that women have very less percentage of women have the authority to do any decisions in their house. So decision-making power is very less in the household, especially in India. Even in India, if you do survey, we have very less power to take any family decisions, including for the family where they can go for 2 children, 1 child, but still the decision is with the husband side. The male will be taking the decision. This is where we need to have to understand, if the females have been given the decisions power, they can bring the change. This is most proudly I say that females are more focused on their self-cleanliness. See, to be a representative, I dress myself. I try to look myself clean and beautiful looking ladies. Yes, I agree. I hope all the other females who have joined, they also agree that we would like to look good. This also is one of the character that is inbuilt in our females, that we want everything to be clean. This is what the females take advantage, that females want cleanliness, but that should not be taken an over advantage. We can make the people understand how the females would like the perception of men to look the cleanliness in a different way. We also have a higher expectations of cleanliness around us. where we want our males to have or reach these expectations. That is why females have an important role in Swachhata. With this little background, we have seen there are no studies in India as such where they have identified the roles of men and women in the household. If you see this in the US, where we say it is a developed country, developed area, still we are seeing that there are females who are facing lot of problems that they do it in the household activities, preparing meals, clean the house, care for children on daily basis, grocery shop. Lists are there where the female is doing a major work. But if you see the male, it is very less. So I want to focus here, say that, please, this is the role of the women where they can do almost most of these activities can be done by the male as compared to female. So females have to take a chance and educate the people. How they can bring the change is this. We have a different role. As Sunita Madam told, that there are invisible list of women. I would like to focus only on these three important M. That is M, mother, motivator, and member. As a mother, I say, Maneya Madala Patashale, Taye Madala Guru. This is a slogan that is being put, and still now we follow this. And I proudly say, as a mother, I am able to bring changes in my child. My son does his own cleanliness. My daughter does her own work. So this is where the mother's role is very important. The mother can teach or they can install the habit of cleanliness among the child at a very early age. That is very, very important. Even as a mother, even as a female in the house, if we want to bring a change in ourselves, if I want to bring a change in the surrounding, I have to start building it in myself. So once best way is stop use of plastics, plus use of all the available biodegradable uses where we can make our child understand this. So as a female, that is our first role, to make our child change in their behavior, and hence they are going to be a future citizen. And this is the first step where as a female, I can bring the change. So it is very, very important role I have in my life. Second, as a motivator, there are many people. I can give an example because I work a lot in the community. We have beautiful Ashas where these all are female. They have been selected as an Asha worker. Anganwadi worker is also a female who is being selected. Why only females are being selected? Because we have that strength. We should be proudly say that we are the proud citizen of this country where we can bring the change. The all others know that female is the one who can bring, who can motivate and bring the change in the community. So Asha workers, our panchayat, elected panchayat members, Anganwadi workers can bring the change in the society. As a member, I can give the best example as a member in most of our, recently in Karnataka, Kalburgi is a district where our IAS officer has brought a big change in Swachhata activity, where she has motivated 1,000 females to come forward and fight for their own rights. And they themselves have developed and constructed 1,000 toilets where it is a Nari Shakti which can bring the change in the life. So female has a very important role in bringing this change. Nari Shakti is very, very important in making the cleanliness, bringing our own environment change. To give some examples where the government of India has put forth, I proudly say it is because of the female, the government of India has brought the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Because of the females only, you can highlight it. It is very important for us and we should feel proud that to some extent our government is also supporting to bring these changes. With this, I would like to say that good hygienic practices should begin at the young age from the female side as a big role, and irrespective of your climate, age or place, it's never too late to start working in these areas where a female can be a role model. As I said, as a leader, I was being given a challenge as an NSS coordinator that we have adopted one village, please bring a change in this village. Being a female, it is very difficult for us to bring a change, but I had a very good support from my Keli society and my Keli university where we had a very good supporters, where we could achieve this Swachhata activity and we could award our village, including our own university, was awarded as a best one green champion best award, because all the females were working in that area and they supported us to bring this change. So when we all play an attention to this, we foster good health and overall well-being, our own lives as well as in the world. So with this, I thank all the organizers to give this opportunity and say that we all can work, but we together can win. With this, I thank and wish all a happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashwini ma'am, for those beautiful words. Not just did you educate us on the importance of women in Swachh Bharat, but also the importance of women in the nation and in the country and in the world as well. And like you said, we all can work, but together we can win. Bringing out the points about how important support, understanding, and cooperation is necessary to bring about the changes we want to see. Thank you ever so much, ma'am, for this beautiful, insightful, and empowering discussion with you, ma'am. We are ever grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite now Dr. Chandrika ma'am, Principal of BVVS SC Namdat Law College, with over 30 articles in total published, 11 in international and 19 in national, with 21 years of teaching experience, guiding students in their dissertation work, University Body Academic Council member of Karnataka State Law University, Hubli, extends her expertise in co-curricular activities as well, and a few of them are the member of the Juvenile Justice Board Bagalkot, Chairperson of District Administration's Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Cell, Member of District Police Administration's Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Cell as well. Good evening, ma'am, Dr. Chandrika ma'am. We are so glad and honored to have you with us.
Good evening, Shirley. I'm scared of you now.
Why is that?
I saw you had rapid rounds for 2 doctors. Hope I'm left out of it.
Okay, ma'am. Very, very simple
You
questions.
scared me. You scared me. Literally scared me.
It's very small questions, ma'am. Very easy questions, I promise.
Okay, done.
We would still love to hear more about you. So, can I start, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, your first question is, who is your favorite female actress?
Kalpana.
Lovely, ma'am. What is your hidden talent?
My smile.
I agree. Do you ever make a to-do list?
Yeah, I didn't get it. Yes.
Do you ever make a to-do list?
No, absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. That was your rapid fire round.
I can complete it within time.
Yes, ma'am. That
Any
was a
prize
wonderful
for
round.
this, Charlie?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The floor is all
Yeah.
yours.
At the outset, I like to express my gratitude to New You Solution, especially Shalini madam, who called me many times. At the end, when I picked up the call, her answer was, "We can get the Prime Minister Modi, but not you, ma'am." But yes, that was not true, of course. And happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women in this group, and of course the men, because their mothers, sisters are also women. 2 doctors have spoken before me. One who spoke about invisible women, the other on Swachh Bharat. Now, as a law person, my burden is to speak on legal aspect, how we are being visible through legislations, how we are made visible through different legislations. Friends, we look at our history, our past. You know, when we talk about Rama and Sita's wedding, there was Swayamvara. Women was given a choice to choose her husband. There were hundreds of men who all wanted to marry her. But then she chose. That means there was a women empowerment in this country from a very long time. We lost it, all these things during a particular period, that's all. And this can be depicted when our Constituent Assembly was formed. It was in the year 1940, Mr. Roy, M.N. Roy, proposed that we should have a constitution when it was ruled by the British. And as soon as we got our independence, we all felt we should have a constitution, and a committee was formed. There were 389 members to form the Bible of India, or whatever name you want to give. It's a religious book for all we Indians. Among the 389 members, I'm very sorry to say, there were only 15 women. Only 15. Among them, few whom I can mention: Ammu Swaminathan, Daksha Ayeni, Begum Aziz Rasul, Renuka Rai, who was the only BA graduate from Economics School from London, and Sarojini Naidu, Annie Mascarenhas, very few. So 50, not even 0.5%, we can say, were women. But these 0.5% could make such a big transformation to what we are today. You know, the theme of today's International Women's Day is gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow. So what we have to have is gender equality. Unless we don't go to gender equality, no development is possible. Throughout the world, there are only two genders, men and women, and they have to be treated as equally. As I said, we have always been treated equally in the previous past. If you can see near my place, near Bagalkot, there is a cave called as Badami Caves, ancient caves. There is one idol which is called as Ardhanarishvara. Half of that idol is man, and the half is the women, which shows that both have to be treated equally in all aspects. If we are not treated equally, then we become invisible, like Sunita Madam said. So what is essential for sustainable tomorrow is we should be treated equally. Gender equality is a must. What law has played its role? As I said, Constituent Assembly had only less than 1% of female, but they could make a big difference while drafting certain articles. Article 14 said right to equality. Again, where they said right to equality, they said very clearly no bias which is based on gender. Then they went for Article 15. Under Article 15, subclause 3 is very, very important for us. See how it has been drafted. Nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. This was sufficient for us. This was sufficient to bring gender equality. So, with this gave one strength to us to draft special legislation for the protection of women. I know, despite these legislations, there are gender parities. But it has tried to make it itself or try to bring the equality between both the genders. So it was how bills were passed with to protect women from various violences, various insults, various harassments, various discriminations. And if I go through the legislations for the protection of women, there are n number now. There are so many. But few I would like to highlight based on what the two previous speakers spoke of. They were doctors. The first which was done was during the British era was Sati Prohibition Act. Of course, now we don't see Sati. What I want to say here is, can a legislation make a difference? Yes. So we say in law transforms the society, society brings a transformation in law. Bring a law which is very stringent, automatically there will be changes in the society. At least that scare, what will happen, will make the person not to do such things. That's what we could, which I can give an example of Sati Prohibition Act. At that time, when it was drafted, there was hue and cry from the other gender saying that, no, this is our tradition, which was of course not our tradition, which was brought forcibly. Women were burnt in the fire when the husband died. And this in the 21st century, that act as well as dead because nobody is doing it. The scare the legislation has put. In the same sense are any legislation that have been drafted. It was medical termination of pregnancy. It was drafted in 1971. Where they said that you cannot terminate the pregnancy without a medical supervision and without a medical advice. But that did not work much because what used to happen is we invented many things and we are inventing many things. Inventions sometimes are very good, but it depends how we take, and sometimes very bad. We had a scanning machine, which was to be used to know the health of the baby, physical health of the baby, mental health of the baby. But what it went through, this machine was used by doctors to detect the sex of the baby. I remember one incident. The day I read this, I was literally crying. It was in a newspaper in Maharashtra, where, there was a village and there was a river passing through the village. The women in the village used to go for cleaning the clothes. Swachh Bharat, always women is proud that she is the one who is always clean. So she used to go to wash clothes there, all women. And there was a bridge over that river. Many vehicles used to pass because it was connecting between two towns. Now, after a few days, these women noticed that there was a black polythene bags that were flowing on the river. There were first days, there were few, and then every day it went on increasing. And after a few days, they saw the stray dogs were coming nearby, and so many dogs were coming and they were trying to pull that polythene bags, black polythene bags. They are pulling it out. There were dogs, stray dogs, they may bite. So they were also scared. They started driving them away with the stones, but they would not go. They would go only and fetch those polythene bags. And then later on, these women felt what was there in the polythene bags. One woman swam and she opened, I was really surprised to know that it was a female embryo. Then they called the police. When it was sent to the lab, it was found that all were female embryos. And they tried to find out what was this. In nearby town, there were husband and wife doctors whose work was to detect the sex of the baby. And if it was a female, they would write as 10K. And if it was a male baby, they would write it as 1L. This is how they made a differentiation. They never asked for anything. They only would mention in a small sheet 10K and 1L. 1L means 1 lakh rupees because you have a male baby, and 10,000 because if you want to get aborted, it's a female baby. So how do you know that they are actually detecting the sex? And most of them would come just to detect the sex. And if they found it that is a female, they would get it aborted, and that was kept in that polythene bag and handed over to the couples. The couples would move on the bridge and then they would throw that polythene bag in that river. I don't know how the mother was feeling when such thing was happening. I have a son and I have a daughter. I can see there is no difference between them. And I love my daughter more than my son. That's how it is. Because my daughter cares for me a lot. And how that mother could even think of aborting such child. So you do think there were no laws to prevent this? There were. Medical termination of pregnancy was given where a duty of a doctor, where the doctor has to look at the mental health and physical health of the baby, whatever the sex of the baby is. If it is not correct, inform the parents. Despite that, if they want to continue the pregnancy, they could. Otherwise, they can get terminated. But what the doctors were doing here was entirely a different story. See what the invention has done. There was in 1994 a special legislation draft which said the Preconceptional Prenatal Diagnostic Technique Act. Now you can see in every hospital where they are saying that we are here not going to detect the sex of the baby. Why? Because from that legislation, they made it a very strict law where they said that if you detect and if you say this, the doctors will be punished, they will be imprisoned. Very clear, very clear. It was not only fine. If it was only fine, maybe the doctors would have paid it and forget it off. But now they have given it as imprisonment. So the doctors have clearly said that they are not going to detect the sex. Now tell me, friends, why they want to know the sex of the baby? The whole story goes to some other thing. The whole story goes to the dowry system that is prevalent. Even today it is prevalent, despite me saying so many things. And where it is among the elite group. The dowry is among the elite group. So very clear cut they speak and they say this is how much your daughter has to bring to our house. I feel some shame. Is there son something like that who cannot earn so much of money? Or he can't take care of his wife? If he cannot take care of his wife, why is married? Many a times I have questioned this. So, because if a daughter is born, with her they have to give so much of money, they try to find the sex of the baby and terminate it. So the whole thing is from the dowry system. Dowry Prohibition Act was drafted in 1961, got amended many times. Recent was in 2018. What was 2018? They became very strict. They said, before in 1961, 86, they were saying that whoever gives dowry is not punishable. Whoever takes dowry is punishable. One girl in New Delhi, she was engaged. And then she was to be married off in a week. Her in-laws, they called her parents and they said, you have to give us so much of money, car and all these things. The boldness of that girl, I appreciate. She went and directly informed the police people, got them arrested. How many of us do it? None of us. None of us do it. Our parents ask us to shut our mouth because it is their duty to give. So this is how it happens. And this because they cannot afford, because they cannot give it, they go for this termination. Now, what the laws can do if people do not change their mindset? So in 2018, what they did, it is not only taking dowry is a crime, but even giving. So you are not supposed to give also. If you are caught giving dowry, you are also punished. So that means they want to discourage people from even offering a dowry. See, giving presentation to your daughter out of your love and affection, out of your thing is not a dowry, which is asked, which is more than your economic value. You are giving something that becomes a dowry. So definition itself has created a bit of problem, and hence, the people say we are just giving a presentation. And every now and then we see dowry death, even after having a stringent law like this. Every 6 seconds, 7 seconds, a bride is burnt. People are not scared even after knowing this because they don't want to show it is a dowry death. Who can prove it's a dowry death? Don't want to prove. Parents don't want to prove it because they say that if we do this in the society, we lose our respect. There's nothing to lose the respect, and that parents should understand. Because they should not give dowry, they should not take dowry. And then there is no question of sex abortions. You should be proud to have daughters than to have sons, I feel so. So then, this is one challenge which was given. The second, as I said, Sunita madam was telling that we are proud to be mothers. We want to have children. We should have children. Actually that enriches our beauty. It enriches our experiences, and it's a must. It's a must. For this balancing between work and then motherhood. Law, it has taken care of this also. Maternity Benefit Act 1961. Friends, in the year 2001, when I gave birth to my son, there was only 60 days of maternity leave. But now looking at the condition, looking at the workforce of the women, the government has extended to 6 months. 6 months. And after 6 months also, one more which it has added is paternity leave. Father also is entitled to take care of the child. It means father is also allowed leave where the mother goes after 6 months to work. It's the duty of the father to take care of the child. So it is, though not clearly said, it is the duty of the father. By granting paternity leave, it has made very clear that it's the duty of the father also to take care of the child. So many things has been done under the Maternity Benefit Act. Now comes here is an unorganized workers and organized workers. For the organized workers, usually they get this maternity benefit. What about the unorganized workers? We are seeing domestic workers. Should not we give it? Whose responsibility it is? It's we, the women who keep the domestic servants. When they are carrying, why don't you give them 6 months maternity benefit? Pay them the salary and then give them the leave that you have availed being in an organized sector. When we don't change, we can't ask the law to change us. So that's the plus point which the law has done to us. See, as in my introduction, I've been dealing with the women in the workplace, sexual harassment of women in the workplace. Okay, so many cases do come, complaints do come. Fairer sex are also always exploited. But many of them do not complain. The complaint is very, very clear. Friends, I tell you, it's very easy to complain. What you need to do is go to your nearby Women and Child Welfare Department, lodge a complaint there. The rest will be taken care of Women Committee itself. Women Committee itself. So no men will be involved in it. No men. But you know, when justice is given properly. Both the sides are heard. I myself have given a punishment where the person was suspended, government employee was suspended. I ordered and sent it for DC's approval, and DC said, if Madam has said it, then this is right. I could prove that he was going with the act and he was suspended. So this is absolutely possible. So don't keep your mouth shut. Where you have to speak, where you show your right, you have to express your right. If you don't do it, no one can help you. So help yourself. That's what they were telling you, no? We have to help ourselves. So we have to help in a group. We have to be in a group. Only then we can win. That is true. That is true. Here also, all women will help each other if you show that there is something that has gone wrong to you. Otherwise, it cannot be so. Now, the last which I want to tell you, because the amount of time allotted to me is very, very less if I have to speak about legislations on women. I'm being very, very analytical, very brief in what I am telling. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. Exhaustive legislation, friends. Whatever I spoke about the dowry, whatever I spoke about the rest of the protection that has been given to the women are all been enumerated in this particular legislation. A beautiful legislation that was drafted in 2005. You know, friends, there was absolutely 5 years of research before this legislation was drafted, and I'm very proud to say that I was part of drafting of this legislation. I was working for a social organization. It was an international women's organization. So with the help of them, we were actually conducting the research, and we used to always attend a workshop in Bangalore. And then this legislation we recommended, with all the things, whatever we recommended, 70% was included in this particular legislation. What is there in this? You know, friends, when we talk about violence against women, we all talk about physical violence, mental violence. So Sunita Madam, doctor, was telling, we can handle money well. We can handle money well. Is there no violence as regard finance is concerned on women? I can give you an example. As I said, we were doing a research. It was in Gulbarga. When I went there, I was speaking to the vice chancellor of the university, who was a female. I asked her, Mother, ma'am, do you experience any domestic violence? She said, no, my husband is very good. He's very cooperative. All this she said. Then I asked her the second question. Ma'am, you earn, is your salary. Can you spend the way you want? Do you have the freedom? She was quiet for some time. She said, no, Chandrika, I cannot. Sometimes I have to ask my husband. See, this law talks about 4 types of violences that goes for a woman. Of course, the physical violence, beating, harassing, burning, all this. Second is mental harassment. Mental harassment is, how the Apex Court has described. You'll be surprised that there was a case which reached the Supreme Court. The allegation of the wife was, my husband is not speaking to me from last 1 year. And so I am mentally harassed. Can this be a mental harassment? Court said, yes. If you're not speaking to your wife for 1 year, she's suffering from mental harassment. So you have to pay her compensation and ask the husband to talk to his wife. See, this is how widely the courts have been interpreting what is this violence against women. And the third violence which was spoken here was about the monetary violence, financial violence, economic violence, which they said. So every woman, if she is earning, she has a freedom to spend what she is earning. What? This power is superior even to this, is the woman has got a right to even spend whatever her husband is earning. So no one can caution her. If it is done, then it is economic violence. And the last they brought was sexual harassment. So that was the 4 types of violences which was decided here. Now, friends, there were, when the divorce takes place, a maintenance is asked. Maintenance can be asked even under this legislation. And if the woman is harassed continuously, she is given protection by the government. There is a protection order which the court itself gives. And when a woman goes out of her house, many a times she will be penniless. She need not worry. Now government has made so many facilities under this legislation. She can directly go to the judge and tell, I've been harassed like this, I've been done like violence against me, so please protect me. Immediately case will be registered without going to police station. There is a protection officer to whom the charge is given, who is not a police officer. Every district has got a protection officer. And for her, a temporary residential arrangement will be made by the government, which is called as residence order, immediately. So what it is going to be done is, every district has got this. Women's houses are constructed. My district has got, I know, and every district I visited, they have got it. So government have made this, and NGOs are running this. So immediately you will be placed in that residence. Everything will be taken care of. Medical facilities will be given. If you have been hurt or there is some injury to you, free medical checkup will be given. Free legal service will be given by the legal service authority. Then orders will be made for your protection, like maintenance, for the interior maintenance. More importantly, after some time, shared household orders will be made, where you will be staying with your husband itself or with the person who has harassed you. Now, here it is not only husband, all men will be taken into consideration. Your son-in-law, your mother-in-law, your son, your father-in-law, whoever is the man, with them you should be staying. You should be residing. All those persons are the culprits here under this legislation. So what will be done? You will be given shared household. You will be given separate residence from them. If they cannot share your house, they have to provide you a rented house. Such a big thing, relief to the women. Custody of the child will be given to the woman. Monetary relief will be given. Compensation orders will be given. So then medical facilities will be given. N number of facilities have been given under the Domestic Violence Act. From this legislation, women have become more and more stronger now. And friends, the root cause of all this, which I have again found, is if it is a dowry, the second is also child marriage. Now, anyway, the legislation is trying to increase the age of the marriage from 18 to 21, which is a most acceptable solution for everything and a welcome thing. As they said, caregiver and a breadwinner should be treated as same. These legislations are treating us in an equal par. So the men have to be scared now, not the women. In all cases, no. Only thing, they should know their rights. They should know their rights, and then all women will become visible. All women will be able to get equality. So what the theme is of gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow will surely work. And it is possible for this. You know, about talking about the even housemakers, what is their role? You won't believe, friends, an American Times has made a survey and found that America's 36% of the GDP is contributed by the housemakers. I don't tell them as wives. They are not staying there, or what does it say, as a house. So no, not like that. They are housemakers. And they are far superior than we who are working also. So they are taking care of Nari Shakti. You know, friends, why women is given so much of a thing? What I can do, man cannot do. I am more stronger than man. I am really more stronger than man. Look at the Devi. She has 8 hands. 8. So that means 8 jobs she can make at a time. She can do it. But when you look at a male god, you will see only 4 hands. They cannot. You know, if they are talking about physical strength also, women are more stronger, and mentally they cannot match us in all sense. That is why, you know, they get scared of us. So be proud that we are all women, and this proud should continue every day, and together, yes, really we can make it. So I had many things to say, but I should not take too much of time. But I have done my duty as far as possible. If there is any question, then most welcome. So I thank the NYS team, Shalini ma'am, all the persons. Actually, it's not just today's as an International Women's Day, they've given me this opportunity to speak, but they have made my daughter a stronger girl. For that, hats off to the NYS, because now in the public, she is not at all scared. She speaks like me. Thank you, NYS. Thank you, the team. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you so much, Chandrika ma'am, for those beautiful words and very inspiring and enlightening aspects, even bringing in the legal framework and its role to play in women empowerment. All the points you brought forward today, ma'am, will stay with us forever, and we will promise to make the best change we require in the society and the world as women. Thank you, ma'am. Before we move on, now I'd like to call upon Dr. Shalini Prakash ma'am. Dr. Shalini Prakash ma'am, working as a guest faculty at ISPR Group of Institutions and the founder of NYS Bangalore, has coached and trained more than 38,000 students across India and globally, with 620 plus workshops designed and delivered successfully for students, teachers, academicians, and corporate fraternity. And ma'am is also a national level dance performer. Winner of the Nelson Mandela Peace Award of 2021, Inspirational Women Award 2021, Best Speaker March 2017, and 2019's Best Mentor, along with that many more. Ma'am will be talking about the topic Untapped, a Power Within You, which will be featured in our next series in the following week. But still, ma'am, we would like to have you on stage so that we can get to know you a little more still.
Well, thank you, Cheryl, for that.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So we're sorry that you can't speak today, but we really look forward to you speaking in our next session. And we really wish that we could have that session even more sooner to have you here.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. So are you ready for your rapid fire round so that our audience can get to know you a little bit more?
Okay, so are you going to do that 30 seconds today or in my next series?
Today, ma'am, today. All right,
Okay.
ma'am, your time
I'm sure my fellow speakers are so happy that I'm not left out. Okay, fine. Let me go with that.
All right, ma'am. So your time starts now. First question, which is the one movie you would never want to watch again?
Oh, October.
Who is your female role model, ma'am?
My mom.
Do you like rainy weather or sunshine?
Rainy.
Sunrise or sunset? Which is your favorite?
Sunrise.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That would be
Okay,
it.
I'm also in the prize basket along with Chandrika ma'am.
That's ma'am.
We are going to share that.
No
Okay.
sharing. I'm the winner.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
That's
It's nice
yes,
to see
ma'am.
you,
That's
ma'am.
really
Yes.
nice to have you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
deserve 2 chocolates for that.
Yeah, that's the best prize I can get. Hope my
Okay.
daughter doesn't share with me.
Okay.
So before ending, I would like to show my niece who has gifted me on the Women's Day, saying that Happy Women's Day, Atya. And very best of it, where she says to me, you are brave.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think that's the best gift for today.
Yeah, you are so brave, she said, telling me. Thank you, Anita.
Okay. So, well, thank you so much, Cheryl, for the introduction. And yes, of course, as Cheryl mentioned, my dear friends, I would be talking about the next series, like whatever is relevant for that particular and the present scenario that I would be covering in the next session. But for today, I'm in fact speechless after listening to all the 3 great and fabulous speakers. This morning, as soon as this morning, I just woke up and the very first message in my inbox where I found where there is a woman, there is a magic. And yes, it was a fantastic day for me, having these beautiful ladies along with me. So I would recode this, in fact, extend a bit more. Okay, where there is a woman, there is not just magic. Okay, where there is a woman, there is wisdom. Okay, I would dedicate this quote to Dr. Sunita Patil ma'am, because yes, there was a lot of wisdom. There was a lot of knowledge, in fact, we gained from your talk. Thank you so much for that. And the next, where there is a woman, there is a beautiful nation. That's dedicated to Dr. Ashwini ma'am, where she proved, in fact, that's the reason I believe we call Bharat Mata, right? We never said that Bharat Pita. Okay, thanks and hats off to people who said that. And that's there. And where there is a woman, there is a beautiful nation. And that was an enlightening and just an eye-opener session from you, Dr. Ashwini ma'am. Thank you so much for that. And last but not least, Dr. Chandrika ma'am. So I would give a quotation for her. In fact, record this. Where there is a woman, there is justice. Yeah. If you look into all 3 of things, if you look into all the 3 things, the first, wisdom refers to knowledge. In fact, we refer Saraswati, okay, it's again a woman, goddess Saraswati, Vidya, right? And next, if you see beautiful nation, as I mentioned, Bharat Mata, it's again a woman. And the last, justice. Yeah, the justice is Nyaya Devate, we call it. Again, there is a woman. With this, I think all the 3 speakers gave a fantastic, in fact, informative talk today. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Sunita ma'am, Ashwini ma'am, and Chandrika ma'am. We would wish to have your sessions more and more, because as and when we are hearing from you, I felt it's little less. Okay, we want to hear more from you, all 3 of you. Thank you once again for joining. And my dear beautiful ladies who were watching me online. Now, as this is a wonderful day, and we all love to receive gifts, as Chandrika ma'am got a fantastic and beautiful, in fact, very memorable gift today from her little one. Okay, let me give you another gift to all the people, whoever is watching me. When I say gift, all of us want the best gift. Don't you all? We all want the best gift. Do you all want to know what it is? Let me give that gift. It's you. The best gift ever you can have is you yourself. The wonderful creation of God today. So you are the best version of yourself. Be the best and always do the best. Okay. As my colleagues have covered most of the points for today, and let me talk on more maybe in the next series. But for today, once again, whoever is watching me online, I wish you all a very happy Women's Day. Okay, so there, it's your day, and let's not worry, it's only celebrated on March 8th. But I'm a little against to it because every day is special for all of us. Every day is a new day, and every day let there be a lot of celebrations. And let's say no to complain. Let's start giving compliments, not just receiving compliments. Okay, with this, I would conclude. In fact, as Cheryl mentioned, we would meeting you all in the next session. Okay, thank you all once again, and my extended gratitude to all the three speakers for accepting my invitation. I know, and please excuse me, that was a very short notice, but still it was a great job by all three of you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this. Yes, Cheryl, over to you.
Thank you so much, Shalini ma'am. So now, sadly, we have come to an end to this session as well, but we will be having more. I would like to end today's session with one quote by G.D. Anderson. Feminism isn't always about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. So with that, friends, I'd like to give today an end. I'd like to take this moment to thank our wonderful and dynamic inspirators for being a part of us today and enlightening us on various topics related to women empowerment and our legal rights and our role and the role we play in the world. I'd like to thank the audience for being such wonderful sport. And I'd like to thank the management at NYS and Shalini ma'am and our team for giving us this wonderful opportunity and making this event possible. And a special thanks to our technical team for ensuring the smooth flow of this event. We hope to see you all again in the next series. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn for more, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The handles of the social media are right there on your screen. Stay tuned for more updates. Thank you all so much for joining us in today, and happy International Women's Day.